Hi everyone, we've been taught to fear failure like it's the end of the road, like if we fall, we lose our worth. But that's a lie we've been fed too long. Falling is not the enemy, it's the beginning of transformation. Think about a baby learning to walk. They fall constantly. Do we ever call them failures? No, we cheer them on knowing it's part of learning, yet somehow when we grow up we forget that truth. We forget that every fall is a necessary step on the path to mastery. We expect perfection from ourselves, forgetting that even the strongest people once stumbled, once doubted, once fell hard before they ever rose to greatness. The world we admire is built by people who didn't avoid falling, they embraced it. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. He didn't see failure. He saw learning. He said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Now imagine if he had given up after 100 or even 1,000 tries. No electric light, no inspiration, no progress. Every great innovator, athlete, artist, or leader has a story of falling, not once but over and over. It's through the fall that they gained the wisdom and grit to rise. Falling forced them to refine their purpose, adjust their path, and grow into their calling. But let's be real, it doesn't feel good. Falling can be humiliating. It can shake your confidence and make you question everything. Maybe you gave your all to a relationship that shattered. Maybe you invested years into a job or dream that slipped away. It hurts. But here's the truth. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is a teacher. It reveals your limits not to shame you, but to help you push past them. It tests your commitment and shapes your resilience. Every painful fall is an invitation to become someone deeper, stronger, and wiser than you were before. Don't run from it, face it, feel it, learn from it, then use it. You see, when we fall, we are forced to confront who we really are. Not the mask we wear, not the version people expect, but the raw, unfinished, imperfect self that's still becoming. That's where real growth lies. When everything falls apart, you finally see what's holding you together. Your courage, your values, your willingness to stand back up when the world tells you to stay down. Falling makes you examine your choices, your mindset, and your habits. It clears out the illusions and shows you the truth about what you want, who you are, and what you're truly capable of. So don't curse the fall, respect it. It means you were brave enough to try. Most people stay in the shallow end of life, afraid to risk, afraid to leap. But not you. If you've fallen, it means you had the guts to jump. And now you've got something you didn't have before: experience. You've learned what didn't work. You've discovered what you can endure. And if you keep going, if you choose to rise, you'll become someone who doesn't just survive the fall, but grows because of it. Falling isn't failure, it's the forge where your best self is made. There's a quiet kind of strength that only shows up after a fall. It's not loud. It doesn't shout for attention. It whispers in the dark when no one else is watching. Rising after a fall, that's where true power lies. Anyone can smile when life is easy, when everything goes as planned. But what about when the floor disappears beneath your feet, when you've hit rock bottom and your hope feels like dust? That's when the strong rise, not because they feel ready, but because they refuse to stay down. Rising doesn't mean you don't hurt. It means you've decided that your pain won't be the period at the end of your sentence. Every time you rise after falling, you prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you believed. That's not just strength, that's transformation. Think of a muscle. It doesn't grow without being stretched, broken, and rebuilt. The same applies to your spirit. Life breaks you down to build you better. Rising gives you grit, discipline, and a quiet self-respect that no one can take from you. You've earned it not by winning every time, but by refusing to give up when it got hard. It's not about avoiding pain. It's about standing back up with your heart still open and your will still strong. You don't always have to rise fast. Sometimes strength looks like crawling. Sometimes it's inch by inch, breath by breath. But every move forward counts. There's honor in the struggle. There's power in the fight. Some of the strongest people are the ones who've fallen the hardest and still chose to rise. They chose to believe there was more ahead, even when everything around them screamed give up. That kind of strength is not built in comfort. It's born in pain, tested in darkness, and proven in action. And the moment you rise, no matter how slowly, you've already won the hardest battle. You may not be where you want to be yet, but every rise after every fall is shaping you. Think of a tree battered by storms. It bends, it sways, it even breaks sometimes, but its roots grow deeper with every blow. That's you. Every fall you've survived has deepened your roots, your values, your perspective, your determination. Rising after a fall isn't about proving anything to anyone else. It's about proving it to yourself. that you are still worthy, that you are still here, that nothing and no one has the power to write your ending except you. Pain has a way of cutting through the noise. It strips life down to its bare bones and forces us to see what truly matters. When everything is going well, we get comfortable, we assume things will stay that way. But pain wakes us up. It opens our eyes to truths we might have ignored, and it demands our attention in ways comfort never could. When you're hurting, you're not distracted, you're present, you're raw. And that's when perspective is born. Pain doesn't just shake your world, it reshapes it. It makes you see your time differently. It makes you value the people who stay. It makes you question the things you once thought you couldn't live without. Suddenly, the temporary things stop mattering, and the real things, the deep, lasting ones, become crystal clear. We don't grow in the sunshine the way we grow in the storm. Pain brings lessons no classroom can offer. It teaches patience when everything feels urgent. It teaches gratitude when life feels empty. It teaches empathy because once you've felt broken, you'll never look at someone else's pain the same way again. You'll listen longer, judge less, understand more. That's a gift. Pain gives wisdom. And no, it doesn't feel like a gift when you're in the middle of it. But later, when you've made it through, you realize how much it changed you. Not just what happened to you, but how it deepened you, matured you, and sharpened your view of life. That kind of growth doesn't come from winning. It comes from surviving and rising. Think about the most impactful people you've ever met. The ones with depth in their eyes and calm in their voice. They've been through something. They've known pain. They've sat with it long enough to hear what it had to say. They've been humbled by life and found strength in surrender. Pain taught them that not every battle is worth fighting, not every opinion needs defending, and not every mountain needs to be climbed in one day. That's perspective. It turns your panic into patience and your anger into understanding. You stop trying to control everything and start learning how to flow with the storm instead of fighting it. The truth is, pain gives us what ease never could purpose. It drives us to ask, why am I here? What really matters, and who do I want to be on the other side of this? That kind of reflection only happens when life forces us to slow down and feel. Pain doesn't just change the way we see the world, it changes the way we see ourselves. It reveals hidden strength. It uncovers buried dreams. It calls us higher if we're willing to listen. And while none of us ask for pain, once we've grown through it, we often realize it was our greatest teacher. How you respond to adversity is far more important than the adversity itself. Life will throw challenges your way, and you may not always have control over what happens to you, but you do have control over how you react. That response defines who you are. It speaks volumes about your character, your strength, and your capacity. And it's easy to be calm when everything is going well, but the real test of who you are comes when the storm hits. Do you crumble under pressure, or do you rise even if you have to do it slowly, even if it's hard? That's what defines you, your ability to rise again and again, no matter how many times you fall. When life gets tough, we often forget that our response is our greatest power. It's not the circumstances that make or break us, it's how we choose to face them. You've seen it before, people who face unimaginable odds and come out stronger. And you've also seen those who let life's challenges consume them. What's the difference? It's not that one person is luckier or stronger than the other. The difference is how they respond. It's the decision to rise, to not stay down when everything within you says to give up. You have the choice to become bitter or better, to get lost in the struggle, or to use it to fuel your next chapter. The beauty of life is that it doesn't matter how many times you fall. What matters is the decision to get up each time. That's where true strength lies, not in perfection, but in persistence. Even when the world tells you to quit, when your own doubts start to creep in, the most powerful thing you can do is keep going. Every time you push through, even when it feels impossible, you're strengthening your mind, your spirit, and your heart. Your response becomes your legacy. It's the difference between staying stuck in despair and using hardship as a stepping stone to something better. Your actions, your decisions, your ability to keep going, that's what the world will remember. Think about those moments when you wanted to give up, when you wanted to stay down because it seemed easier. And then think about the times when you made the choice to rise, even if it was the hardest thing to do. That decision changed everything. It reshaped your path. It created new opportunities. It showed you that you could endure far more than you ever thought possible. The key to surviving life's toughest moments is not in avoiding the pain, but in choosing to move forward despite it. Your response to life's challenges is your declaration of who you are and who you want to become. Resilience is not something we're born with. It's something we build through struggle. It's the muscle you develop when life pushes you to the edge, when your knees buckle, but you refuse to stay down. Think about the strongest people you know. They didn't become strong by avoiding hardship, they became strong by facing it head on. Each struggle, each challenge added a layer to their resilience. And here's the truth, the more you go through, the more resilient you become. Struggles force you to adapt, to fight for what you want, and to keep moving forward when everything around you seems to be falling apart. Without struggle, there's no resilience. Without the battle, there's no victory. The beauty of struggle is that it forces you to evolve. You can't stay the same when life challenges you, it demands growth. Think about the most defining moments in your life. Most likely they didn't come during times of comfort and ease. They came when things got tough, when you felt like giving up, but something inside of you wouldn't let you. That's resilience. It's not about bouncing back effortlessly. It's about facing the storm, standing in the rain, and coming out stronger on the other side. It's about learning to bend but never break. Struggles don't defeat us, they forge us. They make us stronger than we ever thought we could be. When you face adversity, it forces you to dig deep and find strength you didn't even know you had. You start to see challenges not as threats, but as opportunities to rise. Each setback becomes an invitation to come back stronger, to reevaluate your path, and to keep fighting. Resilience isn't about avoiding pain, it's about learning how to embrace it, how to use it as fuel to push forward. Every time you rise, you create a new foundation of strength that builds upon the last. And over time, you realize that the struggles you thought would break you actually made you unbreakable. Life is full of twists and turns, but the most resilient people are the ones who refuse to let life define them. Instead, they define their life through their choices, their actions, and their ability to rise again. The more you face, the more you grow. The more you survive, the more resilient you become. Struggles are not something to fear, they are the very things that prepare you for greatness. They carve out your strength, they teach you lessons, and they build the foundation for a future where you're unstoppable. You might not see it in the moment, but every battle you face is an investment in your resilience. Every time you fall, it's easy to think that this is it, that this is the end of the road. But I'm here to remind you it's not. This moment, this setback, this struggle, it's not the final chapter of your story. It's just one page. It's a part of the journey, not the end. When you're in the middle of the storm, it can feel overwhelming. The weight of failure, disappointment, and fear can make it seem like there's no way out. But the truth is, the story is never over until you say it is. The most beautiful stories are filled with twists, turns, and unexpected comebacks. And if you're still breathing, your story is still being written, there's more to you than this moment. Don't let one chapter define your entire life. Think of the most iconic figures in history, those who overcame incredible odds. They didn't give up when they faced their hardest moments. They kept moving forward, even when it seemed impossible. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison. Oprah Winfrey was told she was unfit for television. Steve Jobs was ousted from the company he founded. Did they let those experiences define them? No, they knew that failure wasn't the end. They knew that setbacks were just stepping stones. When life knocks you down, remember, it's not the end of your journey. It's just the beginning of a new chapter, one where you rise stronger and more determined than ever before. You have a story to tell. It's a story of resilience, of triumph, and of learning from every fall. Every time you get back up, you write a new line in your book. And though the road may be long and the journey difficult, you have within you the strength to keep moving forward. You are not the mistakes you've made. You are not the falls you've taken. You are the lessons you've learned, the courage you found, and the strength you've built along the way. This is not the end. The end comes when you stop trying, when you stop believing that there is more for you. But as long as you keep fighting, your story is still unfolding. The most inspiring stories come from those who faced great odds and kept going. It's not the easy paths that make us who we are. It's the difficult ones, the ones that challenge us to dig deeper, to fight harder, and to believe in the possibility of a brighter tomorrow. No matter how dark the night, the dawn always comes, and so will your rise. This moment, this struggle, it's temporary. Your story is still unfolding, and there are many pages left to write, so don't give up now. Don't close the book. Keep turning the pages and watch how the story of your life transforms. You're not done yet. Belief in yourself is the foundation upon which everything else is built. When the world doubts you, when the voices around you say it's not possible, the only voice that truly matters is your own. It's your belief in your ability to rise, to overcome, and to achieve what others think impossible that carries you through. When you fall, it's easy to question your worth, to wonder if you were ever good enough. But here's the truth. Your worth isn't defined by your failures. It's defined by your perseverance, your ability to keep moving forward when everything within you says to quit. Believing in yourself doesn't mean you're always going to get it right or that you won't stumble along the way. It means you trust that no matter what, you will get back up. You will rise, you will keep fighting, and you will turn your dreams into reality. Belief in yourself is what keeps you going when it's hard, when you're exhausted, when you feel like giving up. It's the inner strength that tells you this is not the end of my story, even when you feel lost. And that belief, it's not just about telling yourself, I can do this. It's about showing up every day, even on the days when it feels like nothing is going right. It's about putting one foot in front of the other, moving forward with the unwavering conviction that you have what it takes to succeed. No one else can believe in you as deeply as you can believe in yourself. The power of self-belief is limitless, and it's the force that transforms dreams into reality. Belief in yourself is the spark that ignites every accomplishment, every dream you've ever had. It's the driving force that pushes you to keep going, even when everything around you tells you to stop. The truth is, there will be times when no one else believes in you. People will doubt your abilities. They'll question your decisions. They'll wonder if you're capable of achieving your goals. But the only voice that truly matters is your own. When you believe in yourself, you give yourself permission to rise, to fail, and to try again. It doesn't matter if others believe in your potential if you believe in it first. Self-belief is a quiet but powerful force that no one can take away from you unless you allow it. When we fall, it's easy to let self-doubt creep in. The voice of insecurity starts whispering, telling you that you'll never make it, that you're not good enough, or that the obstacles are too great. But the power of believing in yourself is realizing that these thoughts don't define you. Your ability to rise again after a fall has nothing to do with how perfect your first attempt was. It has everything to do with how deeply you trust your own strength and resilience. Belief in yourself means trusting that even when things go wrong, you have the courage and capability to make it right. It's understanding that failure is just a stepping stone, not the end of the journey. Your belief fuels your determination, and that determination pushes you forward one step at a time. The road to success isn't always a straight path. It's filled with twists, turns, and unexpected detours. And while it's easy to let the doubt and uncertainty overwhelm you, the only thing that can keep you on course is believing in your ability to navigate them. It's knowing that you have the strength to handle whatever comes your way. Believing in yourself means giving yourself the grace to fail and the confidence to stand back up. It's about trusting that each time you fall, you're learning. And with each lesson, you become more equipped to handle the next hurdle. When you have unwavering faith in yourself, you stop seeing obstacles as roadblocks, and instead you see them as opportunities to grow and learn. Self-belief is not about being perfect. It's about being persistent. It's about knowing that no matter how many times you fall, you are worthy of success. It's about acknowledging that you have the power within you to make your dreams a reality, even when the path seems impossible. And sometimes self-belief comes from looking back at the struggles you've already overcome and reminding yourself, if I made it through that, I can make it through anything. It's the ability to say to yourself, I am enough and I am capable. It's that quiet confidence that carries you through the hardest times. The belief that you have something inside you, a spark that will never go out no matter how dark it gets. And that spark is what will lead you to your light.